In 2022, the European Union held the 6th EU-AU summit with a clear goal to rebrand its relationship with Africa as a partnership between equals. At least 40 African heads of state attended the summit in Brussels. Their main goal was to craft a joint vision for 2030 and make the EU Africa's partner of choice. The resulting political declaration and the financial figures announced were seen as wins for the summit. The EU pledged a €150 billion global gateway investment package for Africa. Many say this was undoubtedly a hit and a long-term commitment focused on infrastructure, digitalization and green energy, areas critical to Africa's future.
The EU presented the global gateway as a fait accompli. It took a scheme designed entirely, unilaterally, internally within the European Union and presented to African heads of state and civil society groups and the rest as some sort of partnership, even though it didn't really contain, the kind of so-called partnership of equals.
Analysts, however, say the misses were just as significant. Their argument is based on the EU's blockade of Africa's request for a temporary waiver of intellectual property rights on COVID-19 vaccines. For the African side, this was and still remains the single biggest symbol of an unequal partnership.
Now, to the extent that this has not happened also speaks to the kind of bureaucracy that exists within generally the European and Western systems in not just supporting but also even allowing some of these vaccines to be produced, locally.
Another major miss was the unresolved issue of migration, where the EU's old model of paying countries to curb migration remains largely in place despite criticism. And while there was agreement on climate financing, the specifics of just how much more the developed world will pay to help Africa adapt were kicked further down the road. So while the summit produced a powerful new financial framework, a clear hit, analysts say it fell short on the immediate political and moral tests. Daniel Arap Moy, CGTN.